I would like to first clarify that I am a beginner Linux user and I will make a lot of mistakes. But I am making this video to help people like me who would be less terrified and more excited about going into Linux if they have these concepts. In this video, I will share my concepts about how different components are stacked upon each other to make a Linux desktop environment and a whole Linux distribution. Let's start. The first and easiest option to install Linux is to install a whole Linux distribution. You have a lot of options here. You can Google keywords Linux distributions to know more about them. The process would be similar to installing Windows. You go through a setup process which is graphical, and at the end you will get a fully functioning PC which has all your basic utilities like text editor, PDF viewer, video player, etc. Then you can sit on your PC, do your work, watch video, listen audio, install your favorite programs and do whatever you want. This was about installing a whole Linux operating system. But if you are willing to put in a bit more work, you can choose each components as you like and make a very unique custom operating system that you can even name whatever you want. To do this, first we start with base Linux installation. You have two choices to pick from, Arch and Debian. You can Google to know more about them. You go through a command line installation process. You do things like making hard drive partitions, installing boot manager, making swap file, setting personal preferences like keyboard layout, locale, time zone, your computer name, making a user to log in, and all kinds of things like that. At the end of this tiring process, you will have a functioning operating system. You can turn on your computer, log into your user, copy and move and manage your files, install programs. You can run command line programs. But what you won't be able to do is run graphical programs like your file browser, internet browser, your office applications. To run those, you will need a desktop environment. Here you have two options, either to install a whole desktop environment or to make your own. If you choose the easier option of installing a whole desktop environment, you can choose from a variety of options. Google keywords desktop environments to know more. Desktop environments often come with basic utilities to open photos, videos, PDF, etc. So you will have a fully functioning PC and now you can install your favorite programs and use your computer. But if you choose the second option, the harder option to make your own desktop environment, these are the components you need. First is a display server. This keeps a base on top of which all the graphical components run. Here you have two options, Xorg and Wayland. After we have a display server, we can now start actually making our desktop environment. First thing you need is a login screen. For this, you need a display manager. Display managers give a graphical interface to log in. You can make your login screen as beautiful and as stylish as you want. You can choose between different display managers like SDDM, LightDM, and others. Next in list is a window manager. A window manager is what your display manager starts after login. Window manager gives you a blank space on screen where all your program windows are placed. It also gives border, the minimize, maximize, close buttons to program windows. You can choose from a lot of window manager like OpenBox, i3, and others. Next, to handle the 2D and 3D effects and animations, you will need a compositor like Xcomp Manager or PyCom or any other. After this point, you can run your graphical applications like your file browser, internet browser, office applications. But to increase the beauty and ease of use, you can install the following programs. Firstly, a panel. A panel is the equivalent of the taskbar from Microsoft Windows. You can also have an app launcher. It is like run in Microsoft Windows, but it is better than that. It lets you launch programs with ease. You can have a system monitor, which is equivalent to the task manager from Windows. You can also have a dock to launch your programs easily, which is equivalent to the dock from Apple Mac. And you can also install a lot of other widgets which can make your desktop look more appealing and beautiful. So, like I said, you can choose to install what you need and exclude what you don't need, and thus end up having a very light system. We are at the end of the video, and I have given you a framework for a Linux desktop. You can use Google to know more about each component and to learn what choices you have. I'm sure you will run into many problems and you will get frustrated a lot of times. But get through it and you will be glorious. Please share this video to anyone who would benefit from it.